Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for all things marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so I have Jasmeet Sawhney on the line. He's Global Head of Marketing over at Axtria. Jasmeet, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Great to be on the show. I'm truly amazed by the amount of work and the content that you produce. It's just amazing.
Oh, man, you're too kind, and flattery will get you everywhere, Jasmeet, so tell me more. No, I'm just playing, but seriously, excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about the future of B2B marketing function. I think your angle and approach is really unique. So you're talking about the actual function of B2B marketing changing, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, just for some context, let's get the audience a little bit more about your background in terms of what you do over at Axtria. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure. I'm the global head of marketing at Axtria, and at Axtria, we help life sciences company, and specifically the commercial function. So we are a global provider of cloud software and data analytics to the life sciences commercial business. And by commercial, what we specifically focus on is sales, marketing, and market access. And we are effectively commercializing products using data analytics and intelligent systems that we offer. And, we have like 2 primary goals that we take on every project with those 2 goals. How do we drive sales growth for the customer that we are working with? And the other one, which is, even more important, which ties to the purpose of the company, is how do we improve healthcare outcomes for the patients that these customers serve? So I think those 2 are the primary goals that we are always after, and that's what Axtria does. And so I think this is a good transition because I did want to provide some context because you have a unique vantage point in terms of B2B sales and how you're working in the market based on what you're doing in the life science niche, if you will. So let's just dive into today's topic a little bit further. So really the future of B2B marketing function. I mean, it's a big topic. There's only so much we can cover in a 15-minute episode, but where do you want to start with this one? Because this is a good topic. So I think the best way to start is to actually, set some context. So what is, if you look at our own, personal lives and how it has evolved, with digital becoming central to everything, right? How we shop, how we, consume entertainment and so on. Everything has become digital and internet-based, right? Now, that's how our customers are changing as well. So what has happened is marketing function has evolved. We can have like various kind of how well they have evolved, various stages of that, but it has evolved better than the other functions. So that's the first context, right? The second context is that, every other function within a company, where, whether we talk about sales, marketing, sales, HR, product, recruitment, and so on, is in need of engaging their customers better, right? And with the evolution of digital becoming central, those functions have not evolved as much as marketing has done, because it requires the skills and the tools that the marketing team is best positioned to have. Now, when we set this context, right, it opens up the question, is that the marketing function problem, or is that the problem of the other functions, right? Because, they need to technically involve, right? And so why is marketing worrying about, other functions not being able to engage their customers better? Well, the thing is, every of these functions, their goals are kind of aligned with the marketing goals, because they need to work with marketing to actually achieve on some of their, metrics that they are working towards. And marketing, on the other hand, is also working with, for example, sales to drive revenue, and we're working with HR to, improve culture, or, improve retention, and so on. So they're tied to each other. So when marketing is, trying to achieve their goals, every marketing leader is kind of really done with, those vanity metrics, and they really want to, tie and attach themselves to the real growth that's happening in the company, or the improvements that are happening in the company. So how do we do that, right? So that's actually the central question, why marketing function needs to evolve. And none of these other functions are well positioned to actually hire or retain the talent that would engage the customer. Because, you cannot hire a marketing person within HR without having the proper team to actually manage those people, right? Or to train that talent, or to, evolve and grow that talent. So marketing, that's why it needs to be involved. And the success of the marketing function itself is dependent on the success of these other functions, and the attribution of each of their metrics has to be tied to the marketing metrics as well. So that's why marketing function really needs to evolve. And that's the problem, I think, that, most of the B2B marketing company, and I say this for B2B because, I have most experience in B2B, but I'm pretty sure some of these aspects apply to B2C businesses as well.
Yeah, and what this reminds me of, and not that, I'm a little too young to, I didn't live it, but things that I've read about would be, I was alive, I should say, but I wasn't old enough for in the business world, was when, HR started started evolving, and the concept of HR. Before HR used to be that's who gives us our time cards, and then all of a sudden the HR, the head of HR, as industry evolved, now that was second or third, depending on the company, after the CEO, because the HR, they realize the value of the people, so HR now gets a seat at the table. So now, if I'm understanding you correctly, which I agree, by the way, is that now you may see at some point the marketing isn't just a back off or this or that, like HR once was. Now they may have a seat at the table because they're hitting everything.
Yeah. So and that's the whole point, right? And we're gonna, I think, see the evolution, and I can touch a little bit upon where are we going, right? But you absolutely make the right point that that the marketing needs to have a seat at the table wherever these important discussions are happening, right? And this could be HR, this could be sales, this could be recruitment, or even any campaign. Like, for example, I'll give you some examples of this, right? So when we get requests from different functions, because they need to run campaigns to engage with their customers, HR customer is their internal employees. For sales, it's the customers, right? So when we get these requests, if we do not have the seat at the table, and if we are not involved in those important conversations, we only have the surface knowledge. So any content we create or any campaign that we run, it's only going to be run with that surface knowledge, right? And it's only going to have limited impact. So to have the impact that will make a difference or a change requires you to have a deeper understanding of that domain, right? And that's where my thought process is, and how I want to evolve the business that we are running. And, in general, I think that's the evolution that's going to happen. Because, even if this is, I think Peter Drucker said this, and this is a very popular quote, that business enterprise only has two functions, marketing and innovation, right? And I kind of apply that not just at the organization level, but also at a function level. This really applies because you need to have the skills and the tools that the marketing teams have and the innovation that drives the work that you do to actually achieve your goals. And this could be any function. So I think it's really important to have, to your point, sit at the table and be deep in the trenches to actually understand what's going on. And that's where, the evolution, I think, is going to happen, where we're going to see this, marketing function that we know becoming obsolete, which is kind of the siloed marketing function that we know today, into becoming more of this hub and spoke kind of structure, or what I call also, kind of a live-in marketing team that needs to, evolve into, because we cannot just be siloed. We need to have these relationships, these live-in relationships with these other functions within the organization.
Man, that's well said. And Jasmeet, I mean, you get definitely lots of food for thought on this one. That's well said, and you got me thinking, and my mind spinning. So I know there's some other people that are listening to this right now that their head's spinning. They're like, "Wow, this is another angle to look at from it. I never really thought about in terms of context, like how we've evolved at this point." But no, this is awesome. It's been a great episode. So we're about out of time, Jasmeet. So, but before we go, if somebody's listening to this and they do want to find out to connect to find out more about your work and also what you're doing over at Axtria, I mean, what's the best way for them to connect overall?
So we can be reached at our website, of course, axtria.com, and all other social channels. You could connect with us on LinkedIn, Twitter, on Axtria Inc., on Instagram, Life at Axtria, and Facebook as well. So if somebody wants to reach out to me personally, I mean, they can just type in jasmeetsawhney.com and they can reach out to me, or any of the social channels.
Fantastic. Well, Jasmeet, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Great topic and great conversation. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Jasmeet, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam. Great to be on the show. Thank you.